Hello everyone, great to have you here for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Welcome to the channel. We are looking at a major pattern reversal. What does this ultimately mean? This big pattern reversal in terms of temperatures? Do we still have a chance of getting some snowstorm action as we get into March? I'm going to cover all those details for you. As we look throughout the rest of February, we do start to see a major warming trend take hold. However, as we get into the first week and especially the second week of March, we could start to see evidence of an Arctic air plunge coming back in. And we'll also take a look at your tropics, see how much rainfall and tropical moisture and those high sea surface temperatures. Let's get into it. If we start off with our feature radar here, things are really quiet this weekend. We're just going to be progressing throughout the weekend. We just have a few areas around the edges as we head into Sunday morning. Some snow showers up here in northern New York, northern New England, nothing more than maybe an inch or two. And look at this convection here in eastern Texas, especially Louisiana, southern Mississippi. You're going to be looking at a squall line developing out of the Gulf of Mexico here as a very vigorous area of low pressure develops here through 3 p.m. on Sunday. And look at this. This is progressing towards the east. We may be looking at closer to Monday for some of these stronger thunderstorms to approach Florida. The rest of the country looking pretty quiet here. All right, so let's start off with our GFS model here, picking up where our feature radar left off. Obviously, that big system along the Gulf Coast, and then our snow shower action system with our very northern clipper here, clipping parts of northern New England with snow showers. But here across the southeast, this is where we're going to be looking at a lion's share of the rainfall. Big time thunderstorms moving across South Florida here as we head through Monday afternoon. So watch out, South Florida, Miami, Bahamas getting hit here as we stretch out throughout the rest of lower 48 here. It's not looking very active. We do have a little bit of a clipper. If I just back this up here into Monday, moving through Cleveland, Buffalo, Syracuse, mostly rain showers. Higher elevation snowfall here. Very marginal for any type of snow because we have this big warming trend taking over. And then as we stretch through the 26 here, you see very quiet along the Gulf Coast here, except for South Florida getting continued tropical moisture. But look at this. As we head through the 26th and the 27th, another rain shower event moving through the Ohio Valley into parts of the Northeast. It may end as some wet snow showers on the backside of it, heading through 10 a.m. on the 27th here. Although I caution you on this because it's still a little marginal for these snow showers, but we're kind of getting a hint here that we may see that snow shower action set up on the backside of this clipper type system. And look at this. Towards Friday, we do start to see more deeper, colder air. Not like bitter cold, but, down around the freezing part. Here, Cleveland, maybe getting some lake-enhanced snow showers with this little clipper type system. And then that moves to the east, the 28th, the 29th here. Look at this. We start to see a little bit more colder air. But on the south side of this, heading on to March 1st, we're actually starting out as rain showers here into parts of the Ohio Valley. Some snow showers here into northern New England, parts of the Hudson Valley. So we do start to cool things down on the backside of this system. You see a trough of low pressure. That'll focus the snow shower action. And we do start to see the return flow of tropical moisture here across Texas and Louisiana. And that'll be the next system we're going to be watching as it stretches through the 4th into the 5th. We do start to get this Colorado low starting to push warm air back to the north and the east. We'll just see what this is starting to look warmer. So initially, we were talking about potential cold and snow for much of the east. Now this low pressure, still time to change. Things are in the changing scenario here. I think March will be a big back and forth here, but obviously you can see through the March 5th into the 6th, we start out as snow, sleet, freezing rain over to rain, another big area of tremendous low pressure moving up through Lake Ontario here. But watch on the backside of this. This could drag down, if this does verify, this could drag some blizzard conditions down into parts of the eastern Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, into the Appalachians. And look at this, through the 6th into the 7th. That would spell trouble. That would be another flash freeze scenario setting up behind this area of low pressure. All right, so let's take a look at the European run here. Ultimately, what's going to be happening is this Gulf Coast low, Pacific Northwest low. These are the two lows we're going to be watching over the next 72 to 96 hours here. You can see this low diving south near Florida as we head through time here, and that South Florida is going to get hit with some big thunderstorm action, tropical moisture. We'll be going over those rainfall amounts momentarily here. Northern New England getting clipped here with the snow shower action. I'll also have your Canadian weather outlook in just several minutes from now in this video. But look at this. This low if I just back this up through the Bahamas here, through Tuesday morning, look at this. This low looks reminiscent of more of a subtropical low. This is kind of crazy this far south. And there it is pivoting towards Bermuda come midweek. But look at this. We're setting up for a very quiet week here. Look at this. We do have a clipper type system, but look at it. It's all rain here from Ohio westward to western New York, western Pennsylvania. We kind of mix it out across the Adirondacks, northern White and Green Mountains here, northern New England towards New Brunswick. But look at that. We're all rain down in through parts of the southeast as well as we head through Friday, the last day of February. All right, so as we go a little bit further out here on the previous European run, I'm looking for large-scale storm action, and ultimately, you see these energies not lining up here. You see this major clipper up here, 988 millibar low, this coastal heading way out to sea. This does try to spin up a coastal around March 2nd, but it's very little success here. So we do see a Arctic blast behind this system with a big cold high. But as we go further out, here it is, that GFS low I was showing you right around the 6th and the 7th. Yeah, ultimately the warm air looks like it is going to win out. Look at that, strong to severe storms all the way up to eastern Virginia and Delmarva. That's pretty interesting. You got to watch the backside of these systems. This is a 980 millibar low. Look at this behind it. This could signify potential for flash freeze and maybe some blizzard conditions as this winds up to 973 millibar. So yeah, right around that first week, I should say, not weekend, first week of March into that second weekend. That's where we could see some major storm action setting up here. And we go a few more frames. Yeah, that's winding up over the Canadian Maritimes. And watch this. We got something trying to form here across the Gulf Coast once again. So snowfall this coming week, it's not going to be much. Maybe northern New England here, Rocky Mountains. Let's just progress towards the end of the month here as we get into next weekend. Yeah, you do start to see evidence towards the 4th, 5th, and 6th, but even this run has moved most of the snow further inland here away from the most populated areas. You do see northeastern Ohio, though, western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, into northern New England. That's where it looks like the lion's share of the snowfall will lie here. Look at this. Yeah, Cleveland area. This is right around that first solid week of March, 6 to 12 inches, all these bands up through parts of New England, and even the Appalachians getting in on the act here as well. And here we go with the European run just for this week. Yeah, northern New England, that's pretty much it here, northern Rocky Mountains. We can zoom in up here. Yeah, Adirondacks, Tug Hill Plateau area, anywhere from 3, 6, maybe 8 inches up through this region. All right, so let's take a look at it. Liquid equivalent precipitation amounts here. Yeah, it's a very quiet week for most. Obviously, the Midwest and the Ohio Valley Northeast, these are clipper-type systems. They're mostly going to be all rain, about 1/10 to up to 1/3 of an inch in most areas. Pacific Northwest getting deluged out here. Tremendous rainfall and mountain snow up towards 6 to 8 inches in some areas. And the Gulf Coast areas, watch out. South Florida approaching 3 to 4 inches here. Southern Louisiana about 1.5 to 2.5 inches. If you take a look at the GFS, it's a very similar story here. Let's make sure we have the latest run. Here we go. So ultimately, we can go further out with this. March, all the way through March 6th, we do start to moisten things up here further north and east, obviously. So the storm action is going to increase here the first week of March. And if we take a look at the upper air pattern here, obviously you can see we got that ridge from the west. That's going to be pivoting back towards the east, although we do have some trophy periods right around the 28th. Here on showing up on our GFS, a big storm moving through. So we'll have to watch out for that. They'll pinwheel around, but obviously the trend is more ridge than trough until, look at this, right around the 6th of March, that major trough and another one towards March 10th. Now, if we take a look at the latest European, just hot off the press here, you can see right around the end of the month, we start to see that troughiness. So we start out with ridging here in the east, obviously. A much warmer week this coming week. But we see those troughs really digging. And let's go out to that first week of March. There's one that digs right around the 3rd, a ridge. And then look at that, a bigger trough right around the 6th into the 7th. Showing up a little bit less here on the Euro. But Yeah, the ultimate pattern here, the first half of March, is much stormier across the east. NAO index staying positive here through the forecast period, mostly right around 1. That's going to signify below average snowfall and below and above average temperatures here. Now, there is one thing that could make this forecast period interesting, and that's the MJO index. You see, we are right in phase 8 here, going to phase 1 and 2. So this could be very stormy. So even though in the NAO index and other indicators, polar vortex are pointing at more tepid here, this could mean more storminess, which could get us, especially in the northern fringes of these storms, more snowfall and ice. And before we continue with more weather coverage, don't forget, if you made it this far in the video and you like it, smash that like button, everyone. It really does help. Question or comment down below. I love to read your questions or comments. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe, bell notification button so you're alerted with all my future weather video updates. Let's continue. Our polar vortex watch here. Yeah, this is not going to be a thing as we progress through the rest of February. In fact, let's take a look here as we head throughout the new week. Obviously, you can see towards the end of the month into March 1st here, that polar vortex going right towards North Europe and Asia here. So these warmer colors, yeah, this ultimately means no cold air outbreaks. And look at as we head through March 5th here, it is interesting because this is about the time frame I do start to see the polar vortex making a return potentially as pieces of it break off eventually across eastern North America. Although this run of the model has backed off a little bit on this. And here we go, Robert Stone sending in his video actually from February 20th here. Take a look at this. A lot of cleanup action. Very exhausting. That's why you got to take breaks with this, because all this crusty type snow and ice that just forms, it gets into like Rhine ice. You can see, look at this. This is some craziness here. You can see it piled up along the side of the road, and it gets stuck in the gutters here and the sidewalk areas, the driveways, whatnot. It is just, and you can see it's still coming down here. So yeah, he had quite an ordeal here in the Jamestown, New York area. So nice captures here, Robert. And very early Monday morning here, Robert sending in his, Robert Stone from Jamestown, New York area, sending in his photos, actually videos here of some very heavy snow moving across the area. Anywhere from 4 to some areas getting upwards of 6-7 inches here. Kind of crazy. Look at this. Some really good snow action here. He's had a lot of snow here in western New York as of late, tremendously. Lake effect snow, got some synoptic systems as well, but you can see what's going on here. You can see lots of snow action here. Very nice captures. Robert Stone here from the Jamestown, New York area. You can see it just under the street lights here. Look at the piles, right? The fire hydrant there. Yeah, it was a crazy time of it. And here it is. This is where you can see the snowfall amounts right in his neck of the woods, right around 4 to 5 inches. Some of the areas north of him upwards of 12 inches here. So, and there's the south of Buffalo up there, 7 to 8 inches. So you can see a generalized 2 to 4, 4 to 8. Yeah, quite popular here. And here we go. Here's some more snow action. The snow started to pick up again later in the day here. Robert picking up some very nice accumulations. Nice fluffy white snow. But look at this. You can see those clusters of the ice on both sides of the road here. There's the fire hydrant, the sidewalk. But yeah, look at this. Visibility reduced quite greatly across the region here. And I'm going to get to his next video here, which is going to really feature a lot of ice and snow buildup. And even Friday morning here, Robert was recording snowfall. This was, this lake effect, lake enhancement. It continued throughout the week. And yeah, it was making people's commute times really long. And look at this. It's just covering everything. You can see he had quite a massively snowy week as we just... Look at this. Everything is covered and quite a lot of cleanup he had to do here. Nice captures there, Robert, from the Jamestown, New York area. And for my Caribbean, Central American viewers here, Western Atlantic, never want to leave you guys out here. Your tropical update is looking like this. So as we head throughout the weekend, let's pick up Saturday afternoon, evening hours. Yeah, you got some scattered showers here. It's going to give you a hint here. It's going to be a lot more active here across the northern Caribbean, especially the northwestern Caribbean as we head through time here. Here's the 24th and the 25th. I'll show you this momentarily on the European model, but here it is on the GFS. This front, this strong area of low pressure dropping southward across the northwestern Caribbean through Monday, the 24th here. So look at this, clearing across much of the Caribbean, except if you're the Bahamas And maybe Cancun, Belize, northern Honduras, you're getting clipped with this cold front moving through. And that's going to eventually approach the Cayman Islands. And here's Jamaica, 25th into the 26th. We do start to get some of these flare-ups as far east as the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico here. And obviously, the Lesser Antilles, we see some shower action kicking up here on these easterly trade winds. By the 27th, though, it looks like Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Cancun area clears out. Bahamas finally clearing out here. March 1st and beyond, obviously, we're looking at those easterly trade winds bringing in those showers here across the Eastern Caribbean. We do clear it out across much of Central America, so this could be a really good time if you're vacationing down here or getting out and doing some outdoor activities. Yeah, it could be kind of nice here across much of the area. No large-scale systems here as we take it through the 6th into the 7th until, here's the 7th. This is what I wanted to talk about. Another cold front may make its way into Belize, into the Cayman Islands, eastern Cuba, southeastern Bahamas, the Turks, Caicos area, towards Jamaica. Look at this. So there's our last frame. That is what we could be looking at. Increased shower activity, and there could be... yeah, it could be a much drier air mass behind it. I do caution you, though, because these fronts haven't been able to make it very far south this winter. And here we go. We're taking a look at the ECMWF European model. Thanks to tropicaltidbitshere.com. Yeah, we're looking at, wetter conditions prevailing as we head later week here. We got an area of low pressure over Colombia. Look at the Gulf up here, this big old mess. That's going to be moving just north, maybe clipping parts of Cancun here as we head through Monday morning. But look at that. That's heading towards the Bahamas here. This is a big area of low pressure. This is actually probably going to get that front down in through parts of Belize and northern Honduras. Tropical moisture is going to be increasing as we head throughout time here. And as we head through the middle part of this week, watch Jamaica, Cayman Islands, all the way through Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands. We're going to be watching an increased risk of some strong tropical moisture and thunderstorms, shower action moving as far south here as Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. And then before it lifts off to the northeast as we head through February 27th here, you can see still some scattered showers with a little bit of a slight wave action out here towards the Lesser Antilles. And taking a look at our sea surface temperature analysis, we are nowhere near hurricane season just yet. And look at this warm area of water from the central western Atlantic all the way into the Caribbean and Gulf. We are starting off with tremendous sea surface temperatures. So going into hurricane season, this could pose a serious issue this early on. So for my Caribbean viewers here, Central America, look at the rainfall over this next week. It's mainly mid to later part of this week. We're going to start to get into this frontal boundary action here, anywhere from 25 to 50 millimeters plus here. Jamaica, you're starting to get in on some of this act as well as we get towards anywhere from 20, 30, even 50 millimeters on the east side of Jamaica. Northern Honduras as well, averaging out to 30 to 50 millimeters at least this week. If we look at the GFS run, look at this. Yeah, so as we get towards the end of the forecast period, the first week of March, we do start to moisten things up. Actually, let's make sure we have the latest GFS run here. Yeah, there it is. So as we head towards mid to late week next weekend into the first week of March, we're going to moisten things up here. Most areas averaging out to 35 to 60 millimeters. And these red and orangish, yellowish zones, northern Bahamas, South Florida, northern Honduras, southern Belize, over to Hispaniola here. You'll be averaging out to 60 to maybe as much as 100 millimeters here, anywhere from 2 to 3.5 inches. As we go to the Eastern Caribbean, look at this. So yeah, we have a lot of rainfall that's going to be moving through Central, Lesser Antilles here. Anywhere from 60 to 100 millimeters, especially those eastern-facing coastlines. Puerto Rico, it's going to be a mixed bag for you, 40 to as much as 70 millimeters on average. That'll get you out towards about 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches of rainfall. Our Canadian weather outlook here. Let's just progress through the rest of this weekend into next week. Yeah, it's starting off pretty quiet. We do have a few systems we're going to be watching. Pretty quiet here, high pressure and control across Southeast Canada. Look at this vigorous clipper, though, a 982 millibar low. And obviously here our Pacific system ramping up with lots of moisture moving inland. But this clipper, if you watch from the 24th into the 25th, is diving south across Ontario, especially Quebec and New Brunswick. That's going to bring some gusty winds and some snowfall. We'll get into those snowfall amounts momentarily as we head through the end of the month here. Pacific coast just getting pounded with lots of rain, wind, and mountain snow. And here across southern Ontario and Quebec, we actually get the rain snow line through London and Toronto, even Montreal by the 27th at 4 a.m. So look at this. This could be the start of some coastal system trying to flare up here. Southern New Brunswick, rain into Nova Scotia. Northern New Brunswick, a heavy, wet snow up towards northwestern Newfoundland here. And then look at this Alberta Clipper moving across Saskatchewan, Manitoba here. That moves southward into southern Ontario and Quebec. Kind of flares up a little bit of snow shower action. New Brunswick getting hit with a lot of snow this forecast period. But if all in all, if you look through the first week of March, it's looking very quiet here across parts of most of Canada. You take a look at the snow depth here for Canada, even the United States. Look at that. Most of Canada is snow covered. The United States, abnormally not. So yeah, Canada, we're going to continue to watch for your snowfall outlook here. And if we take a look at your total snowfall amounts, through this week, we're actually looking lighter in most areas. Of course, the West Coast, the mountainous areas, getting 60 centimeters or more. But look at Southeast Canada. Even though you're still getting snowfall here, it's averaging out to about 10 to 22, 23 centimeters here on average. So especially southern Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia is pretty much left out of this over to Newfoundland. That's where I think you'll see a band of about 10 to 25 centimeters of snow over the next week. Temperature-wise, temperatures are going to be on the rise. Look at this. We only have 30s up here in the parts of the Ohio Valley and to the northeast for Sunday. Watch this into Monday. Look at this. Soaring to the 40s, Cleveland, all the way into the northeast here. 40s, only looking at 30s here in northern New England. Look at these 70s and 80s blossoming down south. As we head into Tuesday, look at this. The warming trend builds. You pretty much don't have any areas except for the Rocky Mountains out here into the freezing conditions, the freezing point. Look at this. We do get maybe a little bit of cool air around the edges here, but look how warm it is. 50s into the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic, 60s as well. And look at this. We get a little bit of a reinforcing shot of cooler air behind this front late week, but no, this is still above average. Extended forecast from our hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton, Upper Susquehanna, River Valley, New York, and Pennsylvania. If we take a look through the weekend here, it's sunny skies, increasing clouds. Sunday afternoon, we'll make it to the high 30s into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And into the new week, we're looking at 40s, low to mid 40s every day. There's a chance of rain showers just about every day. The better chance of rain will come in likely on Thursday. And before we continue with more weather coverage, check out these amazing, awesome maps from my affiliate here. I am proud to announce that I am now an affiliate with Trilogy Maps. TrilogyMaps.com, bringing you the most digital, customizable maps found nowhere else on the internet. These maps are simply stunning. It's an advanced layering system that makes these maps great for making forecast maps with ease or any other maps that you would like to display important information on. The resolution on these maps is simply amazing. From the detail of everything here in the States, and you can also create stunning, digital, professional layered maps from also across the entire world. And don't forget, in checkout, the discount code option, use my code, MeteoMark, hit apply, and you will get 20% off your order. So if you want the most professional, customizable, and affordable weather maps found nowhere else on the internet, look no further than TrilogyMaps.com. Link in the description down below along with your discount code. As always, thank you for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Also, don't forget to join me on Facebook at MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern, also Twitter at Weather Eastern. Don't forget it's MeteoMark.com, and don't forget, if you want to send me a coffee, there is a link, Super Thanks. You can smash that Super Thanks button or my PayPal link in the description down below. You can buy me a cup of coffee. Thanks everyone. Share that video, subscribe if you haven't, smash that like button.